It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Oh, there she is.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. It's locked. I cannot enter. It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Ja, nog steeds.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my
Wat
staff
vind je van het
at
spel?
Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to
Maakt niet uit.
contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Ik ben echt blij dat ik niet aan het streamen ben hoor. Slecht vanavond.
Here we go.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Ah, shit. Ja, dat is gewoon leuk. Leuk om te spelen. Dat is gewoon goede lol. Trouwens.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
Test voor jezelf.
We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Echt achter elkaar neergaan.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Bij hardcore. Maximaal elk wat je hebt.
Oh, kut.
It's my turn.
Kut, sorry. Wat gebeurt er?
Each heart contains the
Kut.
seeds of life. Drink at this river, dry it all.
Geen hardcore.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please.
Gebeurt er?
You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think
Ja,
I didn't
dat is een
notice?
nieuwe gedaan.
Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you ass.
Ja, deze wel. Need more blood. Let you bleed. I kill you. En dan doen we die.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox.
Slaap lekker.
I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Ciao. X. Hoe ga ik bijten? Hey, ik wil terug. Eikel.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and
Kom even.
death.
Kut, ik weet niet wat ik moet doen. Follow 2. Ah, ik moet die voorspoel. Nice. Ja. Wat bijten. En loslaten. Ja, oké.
In the back, you bastard!
Oh, kut.
Didn't have the guts to
Ben ik de lul
fuck
weer.
me. Fuck you.
Ben ik gezien of niet?
I'll kill you.
Ben ik gezien?
To taste a life,
Er gebeurt hier
to
steeds wat.
embrace its most
Zie je?
intimate secrets.
Weet je niet.
Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Enter the Promise Hospital. Ja, ik moet daarheen. Ja, hier. Ik moet hier naar binnen. Maar waar het rood is. Zie je? Hier, rood. Ik denk naar beneden. Hier. Nou, volgens mij ben ik er. Gaten.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future. I not want to make waste, Doctor. My patients to attend.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Oké, back.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Kan ik wel nog? Wacht. Misschien kan ik nog
Good
wel wat
evening,
vragen.
Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Ja, ik kijk of ik personal nu kan doen. Nee, nog steeds niet, zie je? Het is allemaal locked.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing.
Zie je nog iemand? Die heeft bloed op zich.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Gaan we kijken waar een plek is. Echt naar mijn plek toe, hè? Is dat? Hier toe, denk ik.
I'm so tired. My sweet girl. This shift never end. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her. How long must I wait, damn it? Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to fix me properly?
Ja,
A month?
klopt.
A year? You have the right to
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Ja, doe hem.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Go back.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
I never could keep anything from her.
Okay, talk to a
Good
patient.
evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it.
With the flu.
I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
And leave.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Good
Reads me
work.
like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Don't waste your time with me.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, sir.
Ik kan die kamer niet vinden waar ik heen moet. Buiten, denk ik. Ja, klopt. Hier ergens moet ik zijn, maar... Waar?
I'm so tired.
Hier. Go back. Oh, volgens mij moet ik daarboven. Moet de trap vinden.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Is een trap. Precies zo wat. Is een trap. Hier moet er zijn. Ja, hier is eindelijk de trap. Eens even kijken hoe we hier nog wat kunnen pakken.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Not now.
I cannot enter.
Ook niet. dingen. Oh, kastjes.
It's locked.
Hier.
This must be the place.
Hideout.
It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Hier kunnen we dingen maken.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Nee, nog niet. Eens even aan te kijken wat. Dit plant
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Hoe gaan we water geven dan? Je hebt hier water. Ook nog iets. Niveau. Ja, bladdingen. Yes. Geld is maar 92, dus ik denk dat ik bloed nodig heb.
The flower's dying.
Gaat hier water?
It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? What?
Dr. Swansea asked me to
Close to the door.
read. Hurry up.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse. I cannot enter. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody. It's locked, all right.
Moet hier wel zijn. Ja. 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 Ja, geen nieuwe game, nee. Nee, daar stond er wel de lul bij, maar...
I cannot enter.